Hello, all you creepy crawlers out there. Welcome to another episode of Blowing Smoke Podcast with Kimiko Kusanagi. This episode, aliens, spacemen, little green men, ETs, whatever you want to call them. These visitors from another star have been around for a long, long time. Not to get too much in depth with how many either believe or don't, but for the sake of this episode, let's just say, I believe. So light up and listen in. Aliens have been in media for a long time as well, with countless sci-fi shows, to comedy, and even horror. E.T. the Extraterrestrial, Mac and Me, Paul, and Aliens. So many great movies. TV shows like The X-Files, Star Trek, Third Rock from the Sun, and Roswell. Even shows like Ghost Adventures, Jack Osbourne's I Believe, and Unsolved Mysteries. But my favorite is Sightings, which I hope one day gets rebooted. For a time, people believed in aliens, or ETs, whatever you want to call them. They were considered nuts, basically. Now, with the government acknowledging and even releasing unclassified documents and footage of real UFOs, there is no way you can't not believe. And now, non-believers are looked at as the crazy ones. So, let's talk about the four alien races that have visited Earth, that are known to have visited Earth. There's the Pleiadians, the Arcturians, the Reptilians, and the Greys. Alright, let's start with the Pleiadians. So, the Pleiadians look just like us. And they have solid white hair or light blonde hair, and their ears are a little bit lower than ours, but Pleiadians are more in touch with their emotions and strive for living and loving. Pleiadians are so much like us, they are considered cousins to our race. In UFOlogy, Nordic alien is the name given to these fictional humanoid extraterrestrials, purported to come from Pleiades, who resemble Nordic Scandinavians. Professed contactees describe them as being 6 to 7 feet tall, with long blonde hair, blue eyes, and fair skin. Debunked ufologist George Adamski is credited with being among the first to claim contact with these Nordic aliens in the mid-1950s. And scholars note that the mythology of extraterrestrial visitation from beings with features described as Aryan often include claims of telepathy, benevolence, and physical beauty. So let's get to the next one, which is the Arcturians. They are the most advanced race of aliens that the Earth has really encountered. They travel through dimensions and are very interested in Earth. The Arcturians' idea is for humans to meet them in the fifth dimension by way of enlightenment. Arcturians are about 3 to 4 feet tall with greenish blue skin. They have three digits, unlike our 5, and the Arcturians live off of positive energy and rarely sleep. Wouldn't that be great? To just live off of positive energy and not sleep. According to the beliefs of certain New Age movements, Arcturians are a very advanced extraterrestrial civilization from the solar system of Arcturus, who wish to share their knowledge and wisdom with the citizens of Earth. They are described as other-dimensional, advanced star beings. Arcturians are said to be loving and peaceful beings who are willing to communicate and work with any soul that wishes to travel with them to a higher level of consciousness. Currently, they would guard the Earth, help healing the planet and raising its vibrational energy. That sounds real nice. Emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual transformation would be among their primary goals. Arcturians would regularly incarnate on Earth and would have been evolved in Earth's evolution. In addition to the Arcturian community, there are said to be similar communities on Sirius, Andromeda, Orion, Pleiades, Lyra, and Antari. The Reptilians. from that name, you would probably get the word reptile from it. The reptilians are aliens that usually live in caverns under Earth. Reptilians are about 6 feet tall with scaly skin and lizard-like eyes. They are the creators of the gray aliens. Reptilians, also known as reptoids, archons, reptiloids, saurians, and draconians, or lizard people, are supposed reptilian humanoids, which play a prominent role in fantasy, science fiction, ufology, and conspiracy theories. The idea of reptilians were popularized by David Icke, a conspiracy theorist who claims that shapeshifting reptilian aliens control Earth by taking on human form and gaining political power to manipulate human societies. Icke has also stated on multiple occasions that many world leaders are or are possessed by so-called reptilians. Now the Greys. So the Greys are a slave race of aliens made and cloned by the reptilian race of alien. The Greys feed on negative energy of other life forms. The Greys carry out the reptilians' dirty work on Earth by making alliances with our government. Grey aliens, also referred to as Zeta Rectilians, Roswell Greys, or just Greys, are purported extraterrestrial beings. They are frequent subjects of close encounters and alien abduction claims. The details of such claims vary quite wide. However, Greys are typically described as being human-like, with small bodies, smooth gray colored skin, enlarged hairless heads, and large black eyes. The Betty and Barney Hill abduction claim, which purportedly took place in New Hampshire in 1961, popularized the gray aliens. Precursor figures have been described in science fiction, and similar descriptions appeared in early accounts of the 1948 Aztec UFO hoax and later accounts of the 1947 Roswell UFO incident. The gray aliens, they've emerged as an archetype image of an intelligent, non-human creature and of extraterrestrial or ET life in general, as well as the iconic trope of popular culture in the age of space exploration. There are not just one race of alien, just as there is not just one species of animal. These are just 4 of the alien races that have contacted us on Earth. Imagine that, there are more planets than there are galaxies. And it said that there could be an unlimited amount of galaxies. So, of course, there has to be other life forms. Earth only has encountered 4 races, right? But who's to say that there isn't like billions in other parallel dimensions of different alien races? Just something to chew on there, right? Let's talk about some of the famous Arizona cases. So the first one will be the Travis Walton case. So according to Travis Walton and 6 of the other members from the logging crew, on November 5th of 1975, he was working with a timber stand improvement crew in the Apache National Forest near Snowflake, Arizona. While riding in a truck with 6 of his co-workers, they allegedly encountered a saucer-shaped object hovering over the ground approximately about 110 feet away, making a high-pitched buzz. Walton says that after he left the truck and approached the object, a beam of light suddenly appeared from the craft and knocked him unconscious. The other 6 men were supposedly frightened and drove away. Walton says that he awoke in a hospital-like room, being observed by 3 short, bald creatures. He says that he fought with them until a human wearing a helmet led Walton to another room, where he blacked out as 3 other humans put a clear plastic mask over his face. Walton has said that he remembers nothing else until he found himself walking along a highway 5 days later, with the flying saucer departing above him. They made this into a movie called Fire in the Sky. Now we're going to talk about the Phoenix Lights. Okay? So the Phoenix Lights, or lights over Phoenix, were a series of widely sighted, unidentified flying objects observed in the sky over the southwestern states of Arizona and Nevada on March 13th, 1997. Lights of varying descriptions were seen by thousands of people between the hours of 7:30 p.m. and 10:30 p.m. in a space of about 300 miles from the Nevada line through Phoenix to the edge of Tucson. Some witnesses described seeing what appeared to be a huge carpenter's square-shaped UFO containing 5 spherical lights. There were 2 distinct events involved in the incident: a triangular form of lights seen to pass over the state, and a series of stationary lights seen in the Phoenix area. Both sightings were supposedly due to aircrafts participating in Operation Snowbird, a pilot training program of the Air National Guard based in Tucson. The first group of lights were later identified as a formation of A-10 Thunderbolt II aircrafts flying over Phoenix while returning to Tucson. The second group of lights were identified as illumination flares dropped by another flight of A-10 aircrafts that were on training exercises at the Barry Goldwater Range in southwest Arizona. Fife Symington, who was our governor at the time in Arizona, years later recounted, witnessing the incident and describing it as otherworldly. Reports of similar lights arose in 2007 and 2008, but they were attributed to military flares dropped by aircrafts at Luke Air Force Base and flares attached to helium balloons released by a civilian, respectively. Now, here's where it gets kind of interesting. So, Kurt Russell, movie star, claims he saw UFOs over Phoenix. And not just any UFOs, but the ones that have become celebrities in their own realm, which is the Phoenix Lights. Russell, during an interview on the BBC, said that he was flying his private plane into Phoenix on March 13th, 1997, when he spotted the phenomena that came to be known as the Phoenix Lights. So, Russell, a licensed pilot, reported that the lights that he saw to the control tower at Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport, and if his story is true, may have been the first person to officially log the sighting. Russell apparently saw the V-shape as he was flying into Phoenix with his son Oliver on the night in question. He was about to land, he said, when he saw 6 lights over the airport. Absolutely uniform V-shape, he said on the BBC show. Phoenix radio station KTAR reported the tale noting that unanswered questions in Russell's account. Russell said his son asked what the objects were, and Russell said he didn't know, but would report them to the tower. He said the tower responded that their instruments did not show anything like that in the sky. Okay, said Russell. I'm going to declare it as unidentified. It's flying, and it's 6 objects. Russell said he then flew back to Los Angeles and didn't even think of the objects again. 2 years later, his wife, the actress Goldie Hawn, was watching a documentary about the Phoenix Lights, and something about the lights looked familiar, and it just clicked in his head. He said, "I was feeling like Richard Dreyfuss in Close Encounters of the Third Kind." Russell said that he heard the narrator say the lights were reported by a general aviation pilot who was landing. "I never thought of it since then," he said, but I said, "That was me." That was me. Russell said that he went to his logbook and saw the date, and it matched up, that he flew into Phoenix on that day. Had I not even seen that show, I would have never remembered or even thought about it ever again. Okay, so some Arizona aliens. I'm going to give you a little mini story of my own. I was sitting in my back patio, and it was a late summer night. It's dark, hot. I was just sitting there listening to music, and I happened to look over my brick fence, and for a brief flash, almost a camera flash, I saw a blue alien. And it was not like what you would think. It kind of looked like a gray, had big head, big eyes, but it was blue and translucent like a jellyfish. Really weird, right? I did some online research and stuff into blue aliens after that, because I was like, what the heck did I see? So there's this thing called AZ Aliens and quotation marks Uncommon Mona by Brian Talbot. The Blues are an alleged race of extraterrestrial humanoids. So the description of the Blues are said to have translucent skin, large almond-shaped eyes, extremely sensitive to light, and are small of stature. And their origin, so like the Blues claim to be descendants of Noah, who traveled to the Western Hemisphere a few centuries following the deluge and discovered ancient antediluvian cavern systems and ancient technologies which have been abandoned by these antediluvian in deep subterranean recesses. They have been encountered mostly in deep cavern systems beneath the general region of the Ozarks, Kansas, and surrounding regions. The Hopi legend is that there are two races: the children of the feather who came from the skies and the children of the reptile who came from under the earth. The children of the reptile chased the Hopi Indians out of the earth. These evil undergrounders were also called Two Hearts. So these Blues, they're peaceful, people say, according to some accounts, and also allied to the Nordics and or Blondes. They've been allegedly encountered on the moon by our U.S. astronauts, according to John Lear and others. So back to the Hopi thing. So according to Morning Sky, who is a Hopi Apache dancer, the first alien contact started about 1947 to 1948 with the Greys contacting the U.S. government to form a treaty with them. Another body of aliens arrived called the Blues. The Blues advised the government not to deal with the Greys, saying it would only lead to disaster. They told the U.S. to follow your own path. They said that they would teach with peace and harmony if men would disarm and listen. The military said, no deal. So they left. But a few decided to remain and stay in the northern Mexico and Arizona area and made a treaty with the Hopi Indians. These aliens are known by the Hopi as Star Warriors. The Greys started monitoring the Blues, so the Blues had to flee the reservation and go into hiding. And a few of the elders went with them. It's a trip, right? So, message of the day. Stay open to the unknown. Your mind, your thoughts, and your heart. Aliens are just friends you haven't met. Well, that does it for me. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And you know what? Stay creepy like Kimiko Kusanagi. Bye!